Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's time for a game of chess. It's a 15 plus 10. I have the black pieces. Opponent is rated 1457, and we're facing e4. Now, opponent is lower rated than me. I have always been playing e5, but I'm going to play this. Is that Pierce defense? I'm not sure. I'm going to try and remember the black line. Is it this straight away? And it's going to be hard for me to concentrate because I've got these guys. One, come here. Two. These are Ghost babies, and they are now very active, and Ghost decided to bring them down to my office and run around here. So there we go. So there'll be lots of noises of bouncing and stalking and attacking, and me looking over thinking, what's that just moved in the corner of my eye? So a funny old defense, this. So it's a variation of the Philidor, I think. I've never really understood the Philidor. I've certainly never played it. And my opponent's gone for the all-in 3 pawns attack. Okay. Now, I think the idea kind of comes from the Pit's opening with d6 and then e5 is a Philidor. Now, so I've got one attacker, one defender. Does not work. There's something about putting the queen here, isn't there? I think that's the kind of idea. Now, what if he pushes this? I can take. He takes again. But if I've got c6, I might be able to stick my knight on d5. There, takey, takey. No, because then you've got 2 attackers, hasn't he? So I'm very tired today. I had a long day yesterday up at 5 AM. Went off to a friend's party and cooked a load of burgers and bacon butties and stuff for people. So, all interesting. Now, how worried are we about this move? If I take and takes... Oh no, hang on. There, I take, this one takes, I can go there. Okay, so when you know you're under par, below par, the idea is to slow down and be super careful and be annoying for your opponent. Take, if this one takes, I don't know. Can't go there or there because of the queen. Can't go there because of the knight. Can't go there. Depends who takes. If I retreat, I'm just giving my opponent a lot of space. If I take f takes, I can go here. If I take d takes, don't think I have an option really. Obviously I don't like knight g8, but I'll play it if I have to play. If it's the best move, you should play the best move, even if it's ugly. And he's taken with the d pawn. Okay, this now opens up the d file. This move might come. Now if I come here, got knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes. So I was kind of gambling on the fact that he'd recapture the f pawn. He didn't. Is this the right move? Because this one simply gives up a pawn after these traits. However, it leaves his queen out on the board. So strategically, what's better? He's very extended in the middle and his development is poor, but so is mine. I also have a potential pin here. So I go here. Hang on. There. Knight takes. I give check. Knight retreats and blocks the check. No good. But we're going to go front foot anyway. We may end up, with egg on our face, but I say we. Now, obviously this doesn't work immediately, But white is, look, there's a cold wind blowing through white's position here. If I attack the queen here, it'll just trade off and force my king to move. We don't want that. So I'm inclined to play e6 with tempo. This does at least release my dark squared bishop. I'm not too worried about blocking this diagonal because my light squared bishop has all kinds of fun potentially on these diagonals. So we're not exactly lacking in diagonals at this point. Queen is out on the board. I have given up a pawn. This is an interesting new gambit I've developed. Okay, and this is now known as the lion defense anti-Philidor. Okay. Now I notice knight here again hits the queen, but again leads to a trade of queens, which is undesirable. So I'm thinking bishop out here. Bishop here is a thought. Bishop b4, check. But that's just going to walk straight into this. There's no real reason for that. I want my bishop on this diagonal, taking away the g1 square from his kingliness. Okay. Now I could castle. And if takes, he loses the bishop pair, but so do I. If queen takes, I then have rook from f8 can recapture, getting itself onto the open file. I'm not sure white's going to want to castle that side at all. He's probably going to want to castle this way and get his rook on the open file. So with that in mind, how about this move now? See, prompt his little pawn to move. Something like getting the bishop here as well would be nice. I'm going to do this idea. If his pawn moves now, I can just drop back. And that, again, you know, that's opened up a real weakness then on the queen side. Another idea is something like queen here. I can bring my knight in. Queen here comes with a threat. The queen is the only defender of the pawn on c2. Okay, he's dropped his bishop. Okay, how stupid is that? Or queen here, or queen here, or queen here. Right, all of these defend the bishop. And then if he trades, and let's say I take back with queen, I've got a fork on b2 and king. So this is a developing move. Got to move forwards. Knight's defended by king and bishop. If he trades, I think he loses a pawn. Unless he blocks with the queen, then we can trade off. And his pawns are in a mess. And his king safety is in a mess. And that ain't worth one solitary pawn. I also have this move, but then g3 just blocks with tempo, so silly. Opponent is from click here to see our stance on the war in Ukraine. Oh! Well, that was unexpected. I have hit queen. Queen can't take bishop. Let's have a think. I hit queen. It improves the knight. Yeah, it puts the knight on an undefended square. No, it doesn't. It's defended twice. What am I talking about? Here, queen can't go there. Can't go there. Ooh, he has potentially got this. Or is it time to castle? Bishop's still defended. Or a5 is an idea. Just anchor the bishop and maybe open up that. That's not a bad move. Castles is not a bad move. I want to get my rook on d8 with like a double attack. Let's do castles. I think it's more principled. Knight's still defended if we trade off. Yeah, so I want this stupid bishop off the back rank. Here, something like. I still have knight c5 attacking the queen. I want to prove that these pawns' reliability. Opponent is down on development, for sure. Trading off bishops would do nothing to help his cause in that case. I like a5 anyway. I'm sure he doesn't want to start pushing these pawns with both bishops and a queen still on the board. This... No, I can't play this straight away. I like a5. Knight c5 is also interesting. Let's look at that again. Because it blocks the bishop's defense of this square. That's the issue there. Maybe centralize rook, and then I can like take the pawn for free. That's got to be principled. We have an open file on the board. You want a rook on the open file. It's the law. The knight have any other ideas? We're coming around looking here. So it's fun, starting a video, seeing if I'm going to end up playing the King's Gambit or the Freddy Krueger repertoire or whatever. Kind of fun. Hang on. He can't put his queen here. Why not? If I do this and he tries to trade queens, I have knight b3 with check and a discovered attack on the queen by the bishop, thereby winning the queen. So that isn't going to work. That makes that move slightly more desirable. Well spotted, Hunty. Good job. Still defended. Can you see little furry bodies running around in the background? This is what I have to put up with. But they are cute as all heck. So we have these two, who are a little older, and we have another 6 that were born a couple of weeks after these two. So they're in a different part of the house because female cats don't get on in general, and so our females do not mix. Shush. Yeah, everything's just an adventure. They're either sleeping or they're hunting each other, these two kittens. But they don't respect the on-air sign. Our opponent's having a right good think here. Must be a couple of minutes. Okay. Obviously that's not playable. I want to do this. I want to get my bishop off the back rank. Okay, this pawn's undefended. We both only have light squared bishops. He wants to trade off queens. Obviously I don't. If I come here, I'm just attacking this pawn. I like that move. I'm also covering the d8 square, which is the infiltration square. Knight here's a thought, opening up the... Just trying to kind of use the c-file a bit, but how's this bishop going to get into the game? I do now have b6, bishop a6. Might trade off bishops. We don't know. But what's he going to do about this problem here? That walks into knight attack. How does he defend this pawn other than pushing it? And obviously pushing it is not fantastic. Nothing about b6 is it gives me knight c5, putting my knight on a dark square, which is a good idea when your opponent's only got a light squared bishop. Light square, quite central. So b6 is a decent all-round move. I've got this, and then I've got like these ideas. Defend it twice. So he can't trade off queen for 2 rooks. I'm liking this idea. And let's pull the trigger. Okay, I mean that's simply defending the pawn. It changed. It quite dramatically changes the attacking ideas. And the king's moved from the c file to the b file, and that's kind of Okay, this is just very, very tempting. Could also put my bishop there and attack the knight. This is a great move. I like... if he trades off bishops... I'd like to get my bishop there. Yeah, I'm going to put my bishop here. No, I'm not, because it hangs my knight. Okay, so is it rook d1 first? Rook d1 first, then bishop here, attacking his knight. But more than that, maybe thinking about sticking my bishop on d5 with a checkmate threat. Well, an attack threat. King goes there, come here, move my knight. So that's this is the plan. It's a plan. Okay, where's his extra pawn? His extra pawn is the c pawn. This isn't too bad. I should get extra points for having to concentrate while I'm infested with kittens as well. Can't do that really. Oh, he's beat me to the punch. Attacking my rook. Okay, so this, and we have queen takes. So let's just line up the rook with the king. Why not? Then this attacks the queen with a skewer. Queen has to move. I could take the knight. We shall see. But we also have this, which I like. Kind of blocks off the open file for my opponent, but targets down on the area of the board where his king is. Are you thinking of ideas like this? But then g6. Move, I take. It's okay. g6 is not so bad when the dark squared bishops are off, you see, so. Got 2 attackers on here, 3 defenders. This now is an idea. Hitting the queen. Obviously, if he plays this now, that's too slow because he comes in and it causes a lot of trouble. So, you know, g6 is fine, I think. Knight in here. I like the fact that the knight is creeping up the board. Oh, we also have a discovery on the rook. So therefore... Oh, actually, also it means that rook takes rook. So I can't do that immediately. Glad I spotted that. So maybe bishop b7 hit the queen once. See, my queen's not defending my rook. What is this about? What do you think? What can you see? Not interested. I just want to hunt stuff and kill stuff. Hello. Ooh. Knocking the old microphone there. What do you think White's going to do in this situation? We don't care. We just want to attack shit. Well, I know. That's why I'm playing chess as well. Crawling with the things. Hello. Okay, so he's gone for the obvious attack. I'm just going to push g6. He's down under 7 minutes now. That was 2:11 his last move. And he's made that 3-minute 36 move for this. Okay, so f4 here does not concern us at all. We just recapture. Okay, now... time for you guys to get down. Get down and wait. Okay. What's interesting now is the queen would have to retreat up here if I play this move. So I'm going to play it because it was a good idea already. Queen can't go there, can't go there. Anywhere here, it's defended by rook. There you go, queen's had to retreat. Now, what do we want to do? Do I want to come in and harass the bishop? Do I want to threaten mate? It's not mate, but in here, I'm threatening to come in myself. He's going to end up pushing b3, do you think? But let's improve the bishop. You know, it comes with a threat. He's got to do something. We're buying time. If I do this, he does this. I take, he's going to push. He wants to mess up my pawns. We get that. That's defended by queen and pawn. If the queen should move, bishop takes, knight, g takes, and, you know, this pawn is stoppable. Okay. I'd like my queen to be lined up with that pawn, but it ain't. If I take, obviously queen takes, right? Then I've got ideas of like rook here. If I don't take, what are the alternatives? Taking out the knight, queen takes. Say knight, queen takes, that's undefended. Then I do this, he has to defend it. Probably comes back there. If I like move my knight, let him capture. I move my knight, takes, rook takes. Don't know. I'm going to trade off. Because the tempo continues, you see, with rook b, c8. Now targeting this pawn. Still quite even, isn't it? But have I, by allowing these trades, have I missed the boat with my attacking ideas? Because I had to be on the front foot. Well, knight can come to c5. It's a nice square. Maybe here then. Might even think about lifting a rook. My opponent has no escape square for the king. Rook lift might not be a crazy idea. Maybe improve my queen. Force him to mess up his pawns a little bit. See, he had an idea, but now I'm not allowing him time to continue with his idea, and that's very important now, I think. Undefended pawn. This one's defended only by queen. Really want to keep the pressure up on my opponent. Just force him back. Don't let him play h5. This pawn's now blocking his queen's infiltration of these key squares, which is nice. If he pushes h5, takes, I think I'm kind of all right. You know, particularly if I could slam a piece onto f5, sorry, and prevent my opponent playing f4 to f5. The knight can't get there in a hurry. That's a long way for a knight to travel. It's 4 jumps. I could even just drop the knight back, and if you say, oh, you want to take my pawn, I'll recapture with the knight. 1, 2, knight takes. There. We'll take some pawn takes. Probably better. He's down to 428. Having to think quite hard. I've got 9 minutes. Let's use those 9 minutes. Depends where the queen goes. You know, I've got like still this idea. Just brute force. Yeah. Okay. So now, that looks like a jolly good move. Queen cannot come in this way. So I'm going to play it. We could trade rooks, there we go. Now I'd like to get my queen looking at that square, because we could have a forced back rank, maybe. Okay, he was ready for that. Don't eat cables. Stop it. moving my queen and throwing my own pawns up at his king. Okay, his current issue is I'm attacking the queen. Queen can't get there. She could go here. Not there, not there. Queen here looks a little bit offside to me. It's a bit awkward. Might play... Let's just maybe push the pawn up, I don't know. I now dominate the open file, which is a bonus. That is a good thing. I don't know about rook d5. Yeah, looks kind of weird, but got to make sure Kingy's safe. And the kittens are fighting. 2 minutes 50 now for my opponent. Struggling to break through. Okay. Alrighty. Rook there isn't playable. Rook here is a thought. What's his idea? Why is he still on the light squares? I mean, how's this queen gonna... It's a long way. I, however, have some open lines. I'm inclined to play queen here. Yep. I attack this pawn. I'm also threatening like coming in like that. Also makes room for a5, a4, a3. And then if pushes, if I can get a3 in, then sometimes you get an unstoppable mate, preventing these pawns from coming forwards. That's Ghost, that's the kitten's mother now. Yeah, I know. Well, can we do something with it? Yeah, I know. Yeah, spitting image of their mum. You're going to go and take care of them because they're annoying me. Thank you. I'm going to give them some food or something. Right. 2 minutes 9. 8. Shush. Now she's calling them to her. I know, Ghost. She's very vocal. Knight here's even a thought. Ooh, look at that one. Ooh. However, knight to here, force the pawn to move, knight comes back. We have ourselves a concession. 133, opponent is 130, running out of time. And your last move took 1 minute 41 seconds, so you can't keep doing that. 120. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 minute. You have 1 minute remaining. Can't put my knight and my pawn both on that square. If knight here pushes back, then it's a5, a4. He's going to run out of time. Don't run out of time. Fight me, damn you. A reasonable request, god damn it. Name the film. Okay, we have movement. Alright, now. This threatens mate. Okay, that, if he comes back, I'm just gonna... Ooh, even that. Even that, right? Because b3 would undefend c3, which means I get that with tempo, threatening to come in there with my queen. But what else has he got? It's that or it's rook b1. Okay, that. And also, now this is now defended by knight. Defended by knight. Vulnerable by day. 8, 7, 6. Oh! Queen back here threatens mate. And defends knight. Happy days. Go. Do it. He's got to push now. A3 or A4. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wasn't that interesting? Okay. Queen here. I always have this. Yeah, I think queen here. Defends the knight. This taketh, and queen b2 is a checkmate threat. Okay, let's say, okay, yeah, that's annoying. Here, he takes... I'm going to have to take the queen, because I can't defend my knight anymore. I can't go here. I have to take the queen. Okay, but opponent is now very short on time. He's basically got 10 seconds per move from this point. Okay, so I now get to put some pressure on of my own. This looks fine. I want to play with purpose now. I want to avoid blunders. He can't get to this open file. He can get to C1, which is now also an open file. But first of all, defending that, no, he can't defend it with the pawn because I take. He can't defend it with the knight. Okay, now before I do this, I'm saying, can he move this knight, thereby creating a discovery on my knight with check? No, he can't. Okay, so we've won a pawn there. Good. Now here, we attack this pawn. He does have, though, the pin. Now, good news is there's no pawn that can force my knight to move. If he does this, I think that was a mistake. I think he needed to attack my knight with his knight. So now I get to play this, and I then get to capture a pawn, putting myself a pawn up. And, oh no, that's a terrible move. 2.5 seconds, you see. Now that comes a check. And he's got to defend the rook, so he's got to go there. But when he goes there, I've got another pawn. He comes back here, defends the rook, I check again. It's on 28 seconds. Okay. Let's have the pawn. Thank you very much. If he comes here, he loses his rook, so he has to go back there. And now I am inclined, so I have a 1 pawn advantage on each side of the board. I am now inclined to trade rooks. However, let's consider rook c8. King can't go there. Can't stay where he is. No, let's do an ending. Let's go into the ending. I'd like to target this pawn. Or if I push, we get ourselves a passed pawn on the e-file, eh? Pretty sure. I don't want to take, really. Well, that's not too bad still. Let's centralise the knight. He might come in. If he comes in there, he loses the pawn outright. Maybe I should have come back. Oh, I should have come back here and targeted the pawn, shouldn't I? Okay, let's give check. If he comes here, I can push. Okay, this is not bad. I'm now attacking the pawn twice, and he can't defend it with the king. So both squares are covered. Okay, and now, yes, take that pawn. He can come in and nab this. I think having a knight, even just knight here, I'm okay. He's using his slow piece to do all his work. I mean, knight's not exactly, you know, speedy. But I can drop back here. It's going to take him a little while to attack that pawn. 1, 2. Okay. I think just come back here. Then the E pawn is going to go, it's going to be Eddie time. Attack the knight. This is defended. His pawn can run up there if it wants. It's going to butt heads against mine. Also, he's taken the wrong route to get to that pawn, right? Like I just said before, here, and he's attacking it, right? By taking the direct route here, he's now 3 more jumps away from attacking it. Because it takes a knight 2 moves to move 1 diagonal. So I've come around here now, I'm attacking his knight. He'll probably come here and think about this pawn, but that pawn's under attack anyway, so what's the point? He could come here with check. Then I'll probably just advance the king up towards this guy. It's the only way he's going to win, but you know, his big headache is called Eddie. Yeah, and now do we just push Eddie? I think we do. That's fine. We are not concerned. I think we should probably get the king up there, do you think? What's the correct thing? Now, where can his knight go to prevent promotion? His knight goes here, targeting that square. Okay, so if his knight wants to go here, yeah, I'm gonna push my king up a bit, I think. Don't think he's got time to. I can sack my knight for that pawn if I need to, if I've got a win. I've now got 4 on 2 on this side of the board. And Skinny Storm is run out of options. Now this is a fork and I'm so tempted to do it. Winning his only potential runaway pawn. And now my knight is free and nimble to move around the board. Might come here. My knight now guards this square as well. That's super important. So now I think Eddie can literally make a run for it. Now knight would then go here, attacking same square. Knight's going to go here, okay. Eddie goes here, knight goes here. Let us try and make another pass, so maybe, I don't know. Got 3 on 2. I can stick my knight there and defend Eddie. Okay, you're attacking Eddie. We get it. Put my knight here, I'm defending that square. That would force him to give up his knight. Okay. Let's try and make another pass pawn. If he doesn't take, yeah, okay. If he doesn't take, I could take, he recaptures, and then I've got a spare, I'd have a spare F pawn to go and help out with the assault on the E and F files. King here. Knight here is a fork on king and knight, which is winning. All right. Now here, he'll go there. If here, attacking the knight takes. Oh, I can't just push. All right, let's come in here. This is okay. I've got knight there, and I'm now going to use Harry and Gary as a little comedy double act. Opponent really lost a bunch of time in the middle of the game here. Oh yeah, missed that. But never mind. Oh, that was a terrible idea. I did that before, didn't I? I've done that before in an endgame. Okay, so now what you're going to come here now. So it just got interesting. It's 3 pawns against a pawn and a knight. An opponent still has to move quickly. If he takes, I take. I don't think that looks good for him. I don't think he can guard both of these files with ease. And he's not been trained in endgames like I have by the masterful Craig. Okay. Oh, that's a fork. Yes, 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 yes. We see. Oh, that was good. Now I'm pushing. He has to put his knight here, I think, but then my king's going to come there. Wow. Now I'm attacking the knight. What are you going to do? Now I'm attacking the knight. I think he wants to force a draw, which would be a result for him. But now you have to move. Okay, and he can keep dancing around like that, can't you? I think he's got a forced draw here. That comes with check. How annoying. There, knight takes, and it's a draw by insufficient material. But now you have to move your knight again. No, you don't. You burn a move with your king. Of course he does. Now my knight can't move, so I think this is it. I think this is a forced draw now. If I move my king here, I mean, he can't win either because he hasn't got enough material. He hasn't got a pawn. Let's see what happens. Oh, then he can fork me. Yeah, I feel like I made a real boo-boo at the end there, allowing one of my 2+ pawns to get off the board. Yeah, it's going to be a draw. He has to take. Well, I'm not sure I can force a win with a king and a rook against that anyway. Okay, there we go. Good move there. Let's have a look at that ending because I definitely slipped up. And I had 10 minutes on the clock, left on the clock, which is embarrassing. Draws are very instructive. We know this. And every game is instructive. Every game there's a lesson. Okay, and the review is up. And I was winning. Ooh, there's some lessons in here. Here. And that was a blunder. I had to push the king up. Putting the king on a square where it couldn't. Yeah, this was the problem. Because after there, takes, fork. And that was completely won from this position. Right? So if I go, well, not completely, but you can go practice versus computer from there. Now, this is a really good idea. When you find yourself at particularly like an endgame position, where you should absolutely be winning, get to that point where you make your wrong move, okay? Practice versus computer and try it out against Stockfish on maximum level. Or you can also change the bot to a different one as well. So black to move here. Okay, +6. Now do we force through? Okay, and the eval bar here is going to tell me, so now I'm +9. So this, and I don't think he can even, there he's got that, okay. So push pawn there. Ah, you see? Walked into the same problem. And that's a dead draw. Okay, so we don't do that, so let's advance the king again. And that's a dead draw. Wow. So from here, so it's not that. Is that the best move? No. What? Okay, this is really fascinating. It's not easy to do. From here, do I attack the knight? Apparently. Now this, I'm in check, okay. That's quite safe. So push, check again. I'll let him check. He can check me again. This is okay. And that's a dead draw. Oh wow! So basically, with a king and a knight against king and 2 pawns, you just have to maintain your pawns. So I've got to avoid the knight forks. So not as easy as it looks, guys, at all. How about this? No, that walks into a fork here. So you've really got to know your geometry, haven't you? He goes here. Wow. No, not easy at all to finish off that one. So yeah, can't really blame myself for missing on that, but yeah, worth a look. But I'll highlight the other errors as we go through the game. So hope you enjoyed those, seeing what those errors were, and I'll see you later.